Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to Alicia Keys' As I Am album, the expanded edition. If you would like to skip right to my reaction, I will have a timestamp on screen right here to where you guys can go to. And now on to a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my personal opinion and interpretation of all the songs. I'd love to hear yours down below, just keep it respectful please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I am going to be stopping and giving my thoughts as I go along. I'm also going to have to cut out a lot of each song due to copyrights. If you see me looking down on my phone, that is just because I'll have the lyrics pulled up for each song. Lastly, if I have anything else I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. And let's get into it. The first song is As I Am, intro. Okay, so my thoughts on the song, I really enjoyed it. As I said before in past videos I've done on her, I appreciate how she blends the classical elements into the R&B elements, and it's just really fascinating to listen to. I love the piano on this track. Not sure if it's a sample or not, I will look that up after this, but I just thought that it was quite interesting to listen to sonically, and I really like the way that it switched up. So I just looked it up, and it seems like there's not a sample or interpolation or anything, which makes the music even more impressive on this track. And now onto track 2, Go Ahead. Okay, so my thoughts on this track, stellar overall. I just really like the energy that it had. I really love the instrumentation and production on it. I thought it was top notch there. Her vocals are impressive to listen to. I like the harmonies, the passion in her voice, the textures. Really enjoyed all of it in terms of the vocals. I like the lyrics for this song as well. I just thoroughly enjoyed this track as a whole. Everything works together nicely. Really catchy. Probably going to be a favorite for me on this album. About the song on Genius, it says, the lyrics to this song appear to be about a deceitful lover, but Keys told the New York Times that they go deeper than that. It's more than that. Lately, I've been into taking social or political issues or problems or general ideas and making them people, so that it comes off as if I'm speaking about a relationship, but I'm actually really speaking about a world issue. So that's definitely really fascinating. And now onto track 3, Superwoman. Okay, so my thoughts on the song. Good track overall. I could appreciate her vocal performance. I like the instrumentation there, the production. I thought that the melody was something that was enjoyable to listen to as well. And I really appreciate the sentiment of the track overall. About the song on Genius, it says, Alicia Keys' hit single off her album As I Am reached the 12th spot on the US Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs and was a 2008 opening song to WNBA games. The song and video captures the everyday woman from all parts of the world and financial structures. Superwoman is any woman who can provide for herself and the one she loves. The music video shows women in different situations, how they provide, and the struggles they go through. In an interview with the New York Times, Alicia Keys said, "This song is a reminder to myself that even when I'm out and I'm just a mess and I'm not perfect and everything's not great and I'm still struggling to figure out what is what, I'm still Superwoman." The song also won the Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance in 2009. Keys told Billboard magazine, "This album really has taught me so much about myself, and every day I'm learning more and more. The beauty of Superwoman is that it's not about being all powerful and being perfect, because no one is. It's about perfection in our weaknesses and perfection in our imperfection. That we can still keep going and we can still learn and still remain strong. Even when we're feeling weak, we can still be Superwoman and Superman." I love what that says about all that I've learned this year. And now into track 4, No One. I have heard this song before, definitely, but whenever I listen to albums for the first time, I like to listen to everything, so I will listen to it again for this video. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. Great track overall. I'm really glad that I got to listen to it again for this video. I like her vocal on it. I can appreciate the sentiment. I like the instrumentation there. And I really like the bridge. I think that's the part that stands out to me most. About the song on Genius, it says, "No one details the idea that no matter what happens in life, the person you love will always be there for you." In an interview with Billboard, Keys said, "This is one song that just wrote itself. A lot of the songs didn't happen like that. It was one of the last songs I wrote. I needed to say this. It's full of force, classical yet vintage, desperate yet triumphant. I want people to feel my soul." Keys performed No One with John Mayer at the 2008 Grammy Awards, where it was awarded Best R&B Song and Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. Aretha Franklin also covered this for her 2014 album. Aretha Franklin sings the great diva classics. No One was like straight up from God. It just came down from the heavens and fell into my lap. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. I'll never forget, we had already picked another single, but I called everyone, my A&R, my manager, and I was like, "I think y'all gotta calm down." It was undeniable. You just knew it. I love it with all my heart, and every single time I sing it, it sets me free all over again. And now into track 5, Like You'll Never See Me Again. If I had no more time, would you cherish what we had? Everything. If I couldn't feel your touch, I've been wishing you were here. Everything. I don't wanna forget the present is a gift. Lord only knows another day is not guaranteed. Every time you hold me, kiss me like you'll never see me again. Many really know what love is. You know until you lose it. so my thoughts on this song. It just feels like a filler track to me. There's nothing really outstanding about the song. The instrumentation and production is kind of reminding me of like two different things at the same time. Either it's giving ice cream truck or it's giving something that could be used for a Christmas song, and like there's no in between there. So the entire time I was listening to the song, I just kept thinking of that, and it was kind of just taking me away from what she's trying to do with this song, and it just feels like unremarkable. Like there's nothing that is drawing me to this song again. And then it's over 5 minutes and I just got bored listening to it, if I'm honest. This song is just not for me personally, and I can understand what she was trying to do with it. I just feel like maybe if this was paired with some different instrumentation, I could like it more, but that's like my honest thoughts based off of my first listen. About the song on Genius, it says, he's explained the meaning of the song to MTV News. The song is about living every moment as if it's your last, because if it's our time to say I love you, then let it be that we didn't forget that. On to track 6, Lesson Learned, featuring John Mayer.
He broke my heart, I'm at your door. You say I told you so, you knew we had to go. I'm back on solid ground. It's alright, it's alright. There's so much word, but I call it a lesson learned. So as we turn, so I call it a lesson learned. Some lies take a minute, before we realize his tears. You give it one more chance, just like the time before. Until that night in bed, you wake up in a sweat and take it anymore. But I call it a lesson learned. So as we turn, so I call it a lesson learned. Ain't perfect if you don't know what the struggle's for. It's called the past, 'cause I'm getting past. You ought to see me now. There's a word when I call it a lesson learned. My soul has evolved, so I call it a lesson learned. Oh, lesson learned. It's alright, it's alright.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song. Very decent track overall. Miles better than the track before this, in my opinion. And I think that this was a great collaboration for both of them because they showed off their strengths quite nicely. Alicia's vocal performance is a standout on this track, and you just hear the passion, the grit, all of it. So I really loved her vocal on there. And I think that John gave a decent vocal performance as well. And I think that their vocals worked nicely together, complemented each other, so I can appreciate it from there. And I checked the songwriting credits for this, and it says that they both wrote it together. So definitely shout out to them as songwriters. I think that they're both great in that regard. And then he really showed off with his guitar work, which is something that is prominent in all of his albums and stuff like that. And he's an amazing guitarist there. And also shout out to David Ryan Harris in terms of the guitars as well. So I think everything really just came to fruition in this song, and that's why I really enjoyed listening to it. And this is probably going to be a favorite for me on this album. It was just so healing and like relaxing to listen to, and I think compositionally it was just top tier in regards to that. As I said before, I do not like John Mayer as a person. I can enjoy his music sometimes, so I definitely wanted to have this disclaimer there. He definitely deserves to be held accountable for everything that he said and done wrong in the past. But that's kind of like my general thoughts on the song based off first listen. On collaborating with John Mayer, Alicia Keys says, it really kind of started because we had seen each other at different events and had the chance to talk to and kind of get to know each other. He's a really great guy, really funny, really intellectual, smart, and so we had a lot to talk about musically. And then one day he just called me and he was like, I've got this song and it's just screaming for your voice on it, and what if we did something really cool and we didn't make it all about labels and managers and lawyers, we just kind of came in and did music. And if he only knew how much I needed that song at that moment. The sing at the end of that song was a relief for me in so many ways, and he was like, anytime, anywhere, anything, I'm there. And now on to track 7, Wreckless Love.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not that it's not good now. I'm remembering how. But let me tell you. Let's go back in time and see your eye, be on mine. You drove me crazy. Oh, baby, let's go back there. When you didn't know me, didn't need me, want to touch me, couldn't leave me. You just could not get enough of me, baby, like you. Have that reckless love. I won't stop till I get your kind of love. Let's go back in time when our kiss was brand new. Forever was a man.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song, I really loved it. Her vocal delivery was very intriguing to me. I really liked her cadence all the way throughout that, so that was something that I really enjoyed about this track, and I thought that her vocals were top notch, so really enjoyable to listen to in that regard. And then I also really quite loved the production and instrumentation. I thought that everything worked together pretty well overall on this track, and so I just had a lot of fun listening to this. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being another favorite for me on this album. It's really knocked it out of the park here. And now on to track 8, The Thing About Love. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. Another one that wasn't really for me. Like, this song just felt kind of bland to me. Like, I appreciate how they like switch it up in terms of like the instrumentation and all that kind of stuff, but even still, like, I couldn't find myself getting invested in the song. I was just listening to it and I'm like, when is this song going to be over? It's just not anything that stands out to me. This is another song that feels like filler. Like, she just wrote a bunch of songs for the album that like, we need a song, and then she just threw it on. About the song on Genius, it says, Alicia Keys told Ebony magazine about this song. One of the other songs is called That's the Thing About Love, and that one came right after I got back from Egypt. It talks about love in very grand ways, between family, between lovers, between friends. That it will blind you, sneak up behind you, try to take what you got, try to forsake you. It will hurt you, but of course try it. And now on to track 9, Teenage Love Affair.
Can't wait to get home, 'cause I wanna have your voice in my ears. The lights are on outside, so I just don't want to say goodbye. I didn't really I wanna be here. My first teenage love affair. I love our secret meeting on the 5th floor staircase. Want you to be my first, my last, my ending and beginning. I just don't want to say goodbye to you, mama, baby. I don't really care what nobody tell me. My first teenage love affair. Hey boy, already like being with you. Maybe we can go to first base because I feel you. Third base, said I want to break, and baby slow down 'cause the lights are on outside. I just don't want to say goodbye 'cause you are my baby. I don't really care what nobody tell me. My first teenage love affair.
Okay, so my thoughts on this song, absolutely fantastic, a banger. Really loved listening to this one. I thought that her vocal delivery was great. I really loved her vocals all the way throughout the track. I could just appreciate everything about it, like the instrumentation. I just really like the energy that the song has overall. About the song on Genius, it says, in the music video for this track, Keys acts as a college girl. The music video is based on the 1988 Spike Lee film School Days. Teenage Love Affair is listed as number 23 on the 100 Best Songs of 2007 by Rolling Stone magazine. It contains a portion of Girl, I Love You by the Reprise. And now on to track 10, I Need You. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. I really love the music on here. I thought that that was very fascinating to listen to there, so I can enjoy that aspect about it. But everything else, it kind of just didn't really live up to how much I enjoyed the music. Like, that was mainly what I was focusing on. And then everything that she put over top of it, I'm kind of just like, man, it's kind of just there to me on this album. And so this is probably going to be a skip for me. And now on to track 11, Where Do We Go From Here? Okay, so my thoughts on this song. Excellent overall. Really love this track. So I thought that the instrumentation was very cool and something I was very intrigued by because it was reminding me of like the 40s, 50s, that kind of like time period, which I just really liked. I thought that it was unique. I thought it was cool in terms of that. So I just really love the instrumentation all the way throughout the song. And I think that her vocal over top of it was perfect for the song. Very emotive and enjoyable to listen to in that respect. I like the lyrics too. Just a great track overall. And now on to track 12, Prelude to a Kiss.
Sometimes I feel it don't belong anywhere, but I can't explain, 'cause I'm so guarded. It's a lonely road to travel, and it's a long, long way to heaven. Can you send an angel? Guide me.
Okay, so my thoughts on this track. It's alright. It's not horrible. Is it one that stands out particularly on this album? No. But I think the fact that this song is only like 2.5 minutes makes it a lot more tolerable for me to listen to. So maybe this song could grow on me in the future. We'll see. Maybe it's one that I'll just listen to in context of the album and be like, that's alright, and then just go to the next one. About the song on Genius, it says, Prelude to a Kiss is the 12th track from Alicia Keys' third studio album, As I Am. She was inspired to write this song after a trip to Africa where she witnessed people who were living under terrible circumstances. And now into track 13, Tell You Something, Nana's Reprise.
Trying to keep it all together. See, I know nothing lasts forever. Imagine that I couldn't see your face. I wanna tell you something, 'cause it would all mean nothing if I don't say something. I wanna wake up in your flowers, waste another hour. I wanna tell you something, won't wait till it's too late. I can wait, just a simple conversation.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song, just middle of the road. Again, nothing that was really intriguing me about this track. About the song on Genius, it says, Alicia explained the song's background to the Daily Mail on December 14, 2007. Witnessing a loved one dying was very hard. She was one of the most influential women in my life, and seeing her in pain wasn't nice. There was nothing I can do. I tried to keep a positive outlook, but what will be, will be. The song came from the feeling of knowing that I needed to say all these things to her while she was still here. There's no point bringing flowers to somebody's funeral. It's important to bring flowers while your loved ones are still alive. Now into track 14, Sure Looks Good to Me. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. I'm kind of indifferent to it, I think. It's not something that is just super captivating to me, but I don't hate the song either, so that's kind of how I'm feeling on it based off of first listen. I could appreciate her vocal performance on it. Now into track 15, Another Way to Die with Jack White. Okay, so my thoughts on the song. I think that the instrumentation is cool. I love how grandiose it is and just how hard-hitting it is in terms of that. I really like the guitar on this track there. I don't like the way that Jack White's vocals were mixed. Like, they sound a little bit muddy in the mix, at least to me. Like, they don't sound clear enough. Because you hear his vocal, and then you hear Alicia's vocal, and it sounds clear, and then it goes back to him, and it just keeps jumping like that. And I'm guessing that's probably the way that he wanted it mixed. Like, he probably did it that way on purpose. Just is, like, jarring to go back and forth between his vocal and Alicia's vocal there. And I feel like maybe if his vocal was mixed different, I would like it more. So in terms of my feelings on the song in general, another one I'm kind of mixed on. Don't hate it, don't love it. I've said that for so many songs on this album. I know whenever I record album reactions, I basically just sound like a broken record, but there's only so many words I can think of in my mind at the moment to describe how I'm feeling. But yeah, that's kind of like how I'm feeling on this track. I think the instrumentation was the best thing about it. About the song on Genius, it says, for 2008's Quantum of Solace, former White Stripes lead singer Jack White and R&B vocalist Alicia Keys were brought in to collaborate on the theme for the film. Originally, Amy Winehouse and Mark Ronson were hired for the job and even recorded a demo, but it was taken off of the project due to Winehouse's legal issues at the time. Fun fact, Jack has been a longtime Bond fan and has always wanted to compose a theme for the franchise. He even came up with a riff that he saved for that occasion. That riff was never used in the song, mainly because that riff was used on Seven Nation Army. So that's definitely something interesting to learn. I do like Amy Winehouse's music, so it would have been interesting to hear what her take on it would have been. And then listening to the song with the instrumentation, I definitely thought like, oh, this could be used for film. Like, it might have already been used for film. And now into track 16, Don't You Know, Sky is Blue.
If you think the sky is falling, all the pieces
Okay, so my thoughts on this track. Good song overall. I really enjoyed listening to this one. I liked how dynamic it was in terms of the instrumentation there and the guitars and everything that was going on there was a treat to listen to. I liked her vocal on it as well, and just a nice change of pace. And now into the 17th and final track, Saviour.
Oh, baby, now I'm telling you, I'm there for you anytime. I'm running to get you for anything. I don't care, 'cause that's just the way I am. Loving you with all that I am. After I'm giving my all, who's gonna save me? Will you be my savior? Rescue me, 'cause baby, who's saving me? Baby, I'm a special kind. Take an inch and make a mile. I don't mind exploring my pleasure. Loving you with all that I am. If I hold down and hold up to dry, will you still save me when I'm empty? And you'll be my savior. Rescue me, baby, who's saving me? One priority. You are the one who is willing to just save me. Will you be my savior, baby, who's saving me? Baby, who's saving me?
Okay, so my thoughts on this song, absolutely fantastic to listen to. Just felt really rejuvenating. And based on the title, I thought it was going to be another ballad, so I was definitely pleasantly surprised listening to this one. Absolutely loved her vocal performance on it. The instrumentation was excellent as well. And I just really appreciated listening to this one. A nice way to end off this album. And now I wanted to share my favorite songs on the album with you based off my first listen. I'm going to say Go Ahead. I might put No One on there. I've really liked Lessons Learned featuring John Mayer, Wreckless Love, Teenage Love Affair. I think those are going to be my absolute favorites based on my first listen, but of course, as I keep coming back to the album, my opinions can change. And now I wanted to share my overall thoughts on this album with you. So I honestly think that this is my favorite Alicia Keys album so far. There were some songs that I really loved on her first two albums, right? But I noticed that I'm usually going back to her first two albums for like one or two songs. You know, I think I have a good like 5 songs that I'm going to come back to on this album more. Are there does in the track list? Yes. I feel like for me, her albums aren't balanced out enough. I feel like we have way too many ballads all over every single one of her albums. And I feel like in the beginning, a lot of times I enjoy myself, and then the back half always drags on because she's putting a bunch of ballads on the back. And I love a good ballad like anybody else, but I feel like her ballads are either spectacular or they're just mediocre. Like there's no in between when it comes to her ballads. Either I really love it or I just never want to listen to it again. And I tend to not like her ballads, I think, based off of listening to these past few albums. Like the songs that I don't like normally tend to be ballads. I'm normally a fan of the more upbeat tracks from her. And so I just appreciate whenever artists balance out albums. We have more so up-tempo tracks, and we also have good ballads whenever you need them. And it also really depends on the album for me. Sometimes I can enjoy an album where pretty much every single song is a ballad and we have a few up-tempos. It really depends on the artist and album, but genuinely I appreciate whenever they balance out their albums a little bit more. But overall, I think that this is a decent body of work. I really enjoyed myself listening to this album. I'm really glad that I sat down today and recorded this video. I definitely think that there's some great gems all across this album. And if you've not listened to this one before, I definitely would recommend it. It's some nice stuff. And as I said before, I think that Alicia is a very talented singer and songwriter as well as an instrumentalist. And so I just really appreciate how she just makes everything come together and brings it alive in her own style on her work. So I just really appreciate her talent. I think that she's a good artist overall. But that's basically my overall thoughts on this album. I would love to know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. What are your favorite songs? What are your memories with the album? Any important information that I should know about this record, leave it down below in the comments. Let's continue the discussion there. And if you wanted to see more content on Alicia Keys, I will have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And that'll take you to the other album reactions I've done on her. So I've done her first 2 albums so far. It'll also be at the end of this video and linked down below in the description if you would like to check that out. And as I said before, I think that this is the last album reaction I'm going to do on her because everyone says that her first couple albums are like absolutely the best. And so I figured I would at least do the first few. And I kind of wanted to stop here just so I could finally give myself time to finish her discography because it's going to take me forever if I keep waiting to listen to an album when whenever I do a video. And so I just really would like to finish her discography before the year is over. And I might review her records in another capacity. Like I might make a video reviewing one of her albums in the future. We will see what happens there. Maybe I'll rank her discography. I'm gonna have to listen and see how I feel about everything as a whole. But yeah, I think this is the last like album reaction I'm going to do on her. And her albums are so long as well, so it's just a lot easier if I consume everything else in my own time and then give you my thoughts at a later point. But I'm really glad that someone recommended that I get into her music, because I think that she has some amazing material in her catalog and very talented for sure. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you'll get a notification to your phone when I post, so you not miss when new videos come out. And as I said before, make sure that your notifications for YouTube are turned on so you actually do get them. The first link down below in the description is going to be my second channel. My latest video on there is me unboxing Beyonce's Renaissance vinyl, the collector's edition. And so if you want to see more of me, definitely check me out on there. I'm also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, and Spotify if you'd like to follow me, as well as a link to stream this album if you're interested. And lastly, links to educate you guys on important situations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.